Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about self-awareness and how it helps us to manage our emotions better. When we increase in our self-awareness, we become more conscious of what's happening in our minds and our bodies, and that helps us to recognise the signs and the symptoms of when we become emotionally distressed. Signs that your emotional state is changing as a result of something that's triggered you could be physical. That might include sweating, nervousness in your belly like butterflies, headaches or head tension, a faster beating heart, clenching your fist or your jaws. And signs and symptoms can also be psychological, like negative thinking or not getting enough sleep or loss of appetite. All these indicators give you a sense that something's changing and you need to self-care. Sometimes we don't always notice the emotions creeping up on us, and sometimes they just go bang out of nowhere. Once we have been able to identify those changes, we can then be able to put strategies in place to be able to manage our emotions better. So these are the ABCs. Self-awareness is about thinking before acting. How many of us have done or said something which we've later regretted because we've acted on impulse? If we put action to the forefront of things, then we can become mindful and make a decision based on rational thinking as well as emotion. That might be removing ourselves from the situation so that we can contain our feelings and thoughts. In really heightened emotional states, our fight, flight or freeze is often triggered. In those cases, thinking is shut down and it's almost impossible, but we can retrain ourselves in situations that are less severe. Conscious breathing is really helpful to be able to calm the central nervous system and help us to manage our emotions better. Focusing in and concentrating on our breath as it goes in and out helps us to stay in the moment and the here and now and worry less about the future or dwell in the past. And C, communicate. Communicating your feelings is so important. If you feel like there's no one you can go to who you can trust, start by writing them down in your own journal or finding a way to express yourself another way. Communicating to yourself is the first step towards being able to communicate with someone else. Communication is a life skill that we need to take with us throughout adulthood. Learning to communicate now helps us feel empowered because we're acknowledging our own feelings and valuing ourselves by expressing them. It's not a sign of weakness to talk about how you feel. In fact, it's a sign of strength.